Okay, so tell me, have you ever been the kind of person that wakes up in the morning, you get your to-do list out, you're writing all your different action steps, you pull up your laptop, you're ready to be productive, and then, you pick up your iPhone, you start scrolling, and nothing gets done. You realize an hour later, nothing got done. Okay, this is it, I'm going to focus. So you start trying to work again, and a few hours later, it gets to 5 p.m, you realize you've achieved nothing. Have you been there? Because I know I have. And so I want to just tell you, this is not because you're lazy. It's not because you don't know what you're doing. In fact, it's not even because you don't know what your next action step is. You know all of these things. The reason is likely because it's a deeper rooted mindset issue. And in this training, we are going to help you get to the bottom of what that issue is. And so that you can get really, really clear on your next action steps. You can move forward, putting one foot in front of the other and actually moving towards your big goals, because I know you've got them. So me and my co-founder Danielle are doing an amazing free training over the next 7 days where we're showing up every day for 7 days to share the 7 things we wish we knew before starting and scaling our business. Things that have saved us, that would have saved us so many hours, so much stress, so many sleepless nights, and would have really helped us to get where we're going a lot faster. So we're going to kick off with day 1. I just want to let you know the camera quality in this video wasn't amazing. It starts off really well, as lots of things do, and then we had an error, but we just decided to keep going because done is better than perfect. So please bear with us. Over the next 7 days, the quality will get a lot better. But with that, let's just dive straight in. Okay, we are live. Okay, so we're going to just give a couple of seconds for everyone to join. We're really, really excited to be doing this. So for anyone who's new and has no idea what's going on, over the next 7 days, Danielle and I are going to be showing up live to teach you the 7 things we wished we knew before we started or scaled our business. It's going to be amazing. But before we dive into any of this, I have a big request from every single one of you on this training. I want you to post in the chat box and let me know a couple of things. Where you're from, first of all. We are coming in from LA right now, but we're not from LA, if you couldn't guess by the accent. And I want to know, are you an entrepreneur or do you want to be an entrepreneur? If you are an entrepreneur, I want you to share your business, like pimp yourself out, get the links out there, get the handles out there. This is a community, and the reason, like, our knowledge and what we're sharing and our experience is great, but also we are all about the community here. And so if we can cultivate the comment section to be the most amazing, empowering, supportive community, then let's do it. So follow each other, stalk each other in a polite way, and let's just get straight into it. So today we're really, really excited because we are going to be talking all about mindset. Now, mindset is one of the 7 things that we wished we had dialed in before we started on this entire journey, because it is so fundamentally important. And if you're a client of ours, you'll know that we talk about this in every single thing we do. From IG, you think you're coming in just on Instagram, we're going to teach you how to be confident enough to show up on Instagram every single day.
Yeah, a big portion of the battle with growing your business, starting growing your business, is that psychology piece. And that's why we wanted to start this whole training series talking about psychology, because it's actually going to affect 80% of your action output. So that's why we're starting there.
Yeah, and I just want to say, holy crap, we have over 200 people live on Facebook. We have over 300 people live on Instagram. This is going to be amazing. So if you're not blowing up the comments yet, blow them up. We want to make sure there's as many of you networking as is possible, so that when you leave this training, you have tons of friends and you're all networking with each other. So Danielle, I know it's going to be absolutely amazing. So do you want to kick us off?
Yes, I am so excited to start this whole week training off with talking about mindset, because like I said, like Natalie and I have been just previously discussed on so many of our trainings, it is absolutely key. And it is really the foundation of you starting to grow your business, because like Natalie talked about with the Instagram courses, etc., and you might have all the tools, but unless you're actually able to take that action, unless you're actually in the mindset of, all right, I can do this, you're not really going to start making the progress that you want to see. So that's why it's so important. So I just want to kind of share a little bit about mine and Natalie's stories and how we found that mindset has really influenced us, because I think it helps for you guys to understand how we've come up against it. So you were sharing a really amazing story with me actually before we came on live about how you made the decision to kind of turn down a job offer and what that was like for your mindset. So do you want to share? Because I think that's actually really, really valuable for people watching.
Yeah, and just as we're talking, there's actually 2 stories that I want to share with you. So the first one was a big mindset change from me deciding to turn down a corporate job and go into entrepreneurship. So, you know, I went to university to study business management. I absolutely loved it. I'm a big advocate of education, whether it's, you know, online, whether it's in university. Like, I think education is incredible. And so I did my business management degree. I absolutely loved it and I absolutely crushed it. And so when I was actually in my second year, I got offered a job offer for my fourth year when I left, which was really unheard of. And I was so proud and excited. I felt like that's everything I'd been working towards. And at the same time, I was putting myself through college and was racking up quite a lot of student debt. I was working crazy hours. We were just talking about this the other day, to be able to pay rent, to buy food. And so I was really, really working so hard. And so when this offer came in, it was a sign-on bonus that would have paid off all of my student debt. And it was an amazing salary. And I would have been able to move to London from Newcastle in the north of England where I was studying. So when this happened, when I got this job offer, I was so excited. But then it got to the fourth year of university and I was, you know, ending my degree and I was ready to go start this job. Something in my gut was telling me this isn't it. There's more, there's something else. And I couldn't ignore it. And I remember talking to one of our friends, Nick Pigeon, who actually introduced the two of us. I remember sitting with her in a cafe in Newcastle and saying, listen, Nick, like, I really don't want to go and do this corporate job. There's something in my gut that's just telling me this is not the thing for me. But at the same time, I have no experience as an entrepreneur. I have absolutely no proof that I'm going to be able to succeed at this. And, you know, I'm going to be in student debt. I have no money to pay for rent, food. Like, I'm going to have to move home. Like, what is this going to look like? And she said to me this one question, which completely changed my life. She was like, what's the absolute worst that could happen? And I thought about it and I said to her, well, actually, the worst thing that could happen is I would be in the exact same situation I am now. So I go out and try it. It doesn't work. I'm in the same situation I am now, where I have student debt. I have no experience. I have no money coming in, you know, that's it. Like, and that, if that's the worst thing, of course I can handle it. I have a supportive family, you know, I have a place to live. Like, how can I put all of my dreams on the line because I'm so scared of that reality? Like, it really wasn't that bad. And I think always, if we can think back to the absolute basics, like, what do we need to be able to take the risk? Like, for me, I remember my goal was, if I can just make enough money to buy food, pay rent, and I'm having full freedom of my schedule, that is success to me. It wasn't 6, 7, 8 figures. It really wasn't. I think the number was $4,000 a month. And I was like, if I can get there, that is it. Like, I am crushing it. That's all I need. And so that mindset shift for me is, what's the worst that could happen, was a game changer.
Yeah, and just like looking at it that way again, you would have gone, oh my goodness, I'll go into that because that's comfortable. I know that that's what everybody else is doing. That's what the norm is telling me to do. But there is that lot of resistance, and it doesn't come from like action taking. It literally comes from the mind that stops us doing so much action quite often. So I think that's a really great story. And just to kind of like, mine is very similar. I'm not going to go into it so much, but one thing I've really learned, and it does really like kind of lift off Natalie's, is that, you know, you can't, if you don't quit, you can't fail. And so even if you had started your business and let's say it hadn't worked out, all right, then who decides when it didn't work out? It's when you quit that it doesn't work out. If you keep going, it always works out. Or you take those lessons, and we'll come to that in a minute. You take those lessons, you learn from those results, and you apply it in a new way, and now you've got more life experience. So I think just starting to reframe our own stories is what really shifted the needle for Natalie and I. And I want you to ask yourselves, guys, if you're watching, like, what story are you telling yourselves? Because your history, your past story does not need to influence your new stories. So I want anyone watching today, I want you to make this decision, like, I'm going to write a new story. If you're not happy where you are, if you want to make a difference, write your new story today. Because when you decide, like, actually, I am going to change my mindset around this, I'm going to really I'm going to take action, I'm going to move things forward. That's when the difference starts happening, and that's when the magic starts happening, and that's when actually you can start building that real life that you want. So just kind of ask yourself, and don't look back on it and go, oh, well, this is what used to happen, this is what happened in the past, because throughout this training, we're going to be teaching you like how you can change that for the better, because it doesn't need to be. You don't need to be stuck in those old pieces of history and those old stories, okay? Now it's just having a little rejiggle for us.
I know we're getting the laptop fan, so I'm wondering if we can move it away, but I'm not sure that we can.
Okay, so while she's doing that, I just want to start talking to you. And what's really great, is Natalie and I always love to put science behind it.
I just want to quickly add, if anyone is on Instagram and the laptop fan is bothering them, just hop on over to Facebook, facebook.com/Team Boss Babe, and you'll be able to watch it there.
Good call.
Right, you can go in.
So what I want to just share is like Natalie and I love the science behind. People know me as actually a chiropractor initially, and so I love the science behind everything that we do. And the science behind really taking more action and reframing your psychology is called PARB, and it stands for potential, action, results, and belief. And it's the cycle that they create that help you make changes to move forwards, okay? So that's what I want you to bear in mind. And I want to start by talking about potential. So potential is like your motivation, your inspiration. It's what's actually within you. It's what lights you up. It's what's in your heart. It's what's going to drive you forwards. And so I want you to just sit for a moment and ask yourself, like, what are you telling yourself? What do you believe your potential is? And I just want you to kind of embody the thought for a moment where actually, I'm not very great. I'm bored. I don't enjoy what I'm doing, okay? And I want you to think about that for a second and see what happens to your body. See what kind of feelings come up for you, all right? And then I want you to kind of assess that, ask yourself, you know, if potential and motivation leads on to action, then what action are you inspired to be doing when you're telling yourself those things, all right? So if you're going to tell yourself that I am bored and I'm unmotivated, then of course you're not going to be doing lots of action. So can you see how automatically that is actually determining what action you take? And so let's flip it up and let's go, okay, let's tell ourselves, I am amazing, I can do this, I am here to show up, I'm here to take action, I'm here to take risks, I'm motivated to do this. All of a sudden, what actions do you think you're going to take that day? Okay, so you see the difference?
Yeah, and I just want to add on from my story too. So when I first decided, okay, I'm going to go in with this whole entrepreneurship thing, I really didn't have a roadmap. I didn't have a plan. I didn't know what my significant 10 steps would look like. And the only thing I was focused on was putting one foot in front of the other. So like, what can I do every single day that's going to help me move forward? And I would just focus on one project at a time. And I didn't, you know, get caught up in all of those different things. It's just, what can I do every single day? How can I push forward? You don't need to have it all figured out. And I think sometimes that can really hold us back. You know, the setup's not perfect. I don't have this, I don't have that. I don't know enough about this. It's fine. Just get started and you'll move on that way.
And just do it now, right? So the whole point of this as well is saying, well, actually, you know, I can do it now. I'm prepared to put one foot in front of the other, and I'm also prepared to be wrong. Just like we started talking about this right at the very beginning. Don't be afraid of failure. If you can't quit, if you don't quit, you don't fail, like you can't fail. And just remember that, like just lean into that going, okay, well, I'm prepared to be wrong because I'm gonna learn from it, because I've shifted my mindset that actually there's nothing wrong with being wrong. There's always just learning curves. And that kind of leads us into, like, if you're telling yourself and you're motivating yourself and really believing in your own potential, you're therefore creating actions that are going to be helping you move your business forward, and they're going to helping you move forward every single day. And guess what? When you get to those results, if they were great, you're going to be like, brilliant, I'm going to do that again. Or if they weren't great, you're going to be able to learn from them, because now all of a sudden, you're reprogrammed your mindset to go, oh, I made this mistake this time. That's okay, because now I've learned from it and I'm not going to make it again. So again, automatically, you're starting to run this cycle where actually it's going to be potential, I'm going to start creating results and actions, and now I'm going to be learning from my results to start moving you into beliefs. And your beliefs are, you know, how do you believe in yourself every single day? You know, it's a self-perpetuating cycle that says, you know, if I am showing up in the ways that I am, if I am doing my actions every single day and I'm learning from my results, I'm going to be believing myself more. I'm going to be like, yes, I can do this because I'm seeing results in all of these places. So I really just want you to kind of like hold on to that and just really kind of go, okay, I'm coming at this with a new mindset and I'm here to show up every single day, and write those affirmations down. So if you relate it to any of those beliefs parts that we spoke about earlier on, then write those down and get them to flash up on your phone. Natalie and I have these come up on our phone every single day of affirmations that we're working towards. So it might be like, I am determined, I am strong, I am ambitious, whatever they are, whatever you rate to, I'm motivated, I'm here to take action. Set an alarm on your phone that kind of comes up on the midway slump if you get that. that flashes up. So the next time you look at your phone, there's an alarm going off. You're like, oh yeah, I'm ready, I'm motivated. And you've told yourself and you've programmed that. So you're moving your mindset and progressing every single day.
Yeah, and just talking about my story at the beginning, I have another moment that this came up for me. So, you know, after that moment, I went on, I started my own business. It took me over a year just to get the business off the ground. So it wasn't an overnight success by any means. I had so many launch failures. In fact, I had so many failures, full stop. But I got it off the ground and things had really slowly started to get momentum for me. And I ended up moving to America. It was always my goal to move to America. I really wanted to be here. And so I moved out here and I started really stepping my game up. And so one thing that I've done really, really well when I starting this business is, as I said, it took me a year to get this business off the ground. And so I started to teach myself Instagram. So I was teaching myself Instagram every single day. Like, I was probably spending 10 hours a day on learning how to use this platform, and I became a total expert at it in that year. And one thing that I continued to get asked from different people was, how are you doing this? How are you growing an Instagram account for a brand that doesn't even exist yet? I had a product-based business, it wasn't launched, and I was able to grow the account. And so when I moved to America, I had a lot more expenses. It was a lot more expensive, and I was like, what if I could just sell what I know? Because actually, seeing what it did for me, like when I launched my first product-based business and I had an audience on Instagram, I was able to launch over 60 countries. And a few months on from that, I ended up getting stocked in over 200 stores across the UK because someone had seen my brand on Instagram. It completely changed my life. And so I was like, what if I could teach what I know about Instagram to other people, and it could completely change their lives too? Like, there's so much power in social media. So this was quite a few years ago. And so I put together this Instagram course. I had no idea if it was going to work. I was super nervous putting it out. And I actually went from, you know, in my product-based business, some months were really high, some months we were struggling to make $2,000-$3,000. So we're really just on this roller coaster, right? All the money was coming in and it was going back out. Even when I was selling to over 200 stores, right? The money was coming in, it was going back out. I was paying staff, I was paying expenses. So I wasn't seeing that finances come in. I constantly kept feeling like I was just pushing. Has anyone felt like that before? Where you're literally feeling like you're doing so much and you're just not seeing results at all? This was me. And I was just pushing. So I didn't really know what to expect of this Instagram launch, but I put everything I had into it. And my passion for this really came through in the launch. So I ended up launching the program and I made $250,000 in a very short period of time. And this completely changed my life. Like, I can't even put into words what that does. I wasn't paying for ads. I was just using Instagram. It changed my life and it opened my mindset up to what was possible and what could be possible. And so from there, you know, I started really like doubling down on the information side, scaling businesses, going all in. Everything was going super well. I'd been doing this for a couple of years, continuing to grow. And one day I lose my visa and I get told I can no longer work in the US and I have to stop doing everything I'm doing with business. And so I had to make the decision, do I want to continue running my business and making money, or do I want to stick it out and try and get my visa in the US? I just got married. I wanted to be with Stephen. I wanted to save my husband. So I had to make this decision of what I was going to do. And so I decided I was going to stay in the US. I was going to stick it out. And I knew there would be a way that I could get to work here. And that 6-month period of not being able to work was the most depressing 6-month period of my entire life. Now, the first 6 weeks, I was really struggling to get out of bed. I had such negative belief patterns of, even if I bother doing this, I'm going to lose everything. I had to use all my savings to be able to sustain myself. Like, I had such high costs, everything. It's like, I'm going to lose everything. What's the point if it just gets taken away from me? Or like, I can't work, so what's the point of my, like, I'm so motivated by work. To have that entire thing taken away from me was really, really difficult. And I remember I was 6 weeks in and one day everything changed. I was driving and at the time I was doing tons of errands for my husband because I really had nothing else to do. I was working out, different things. And so I was driving and it was a long drive and I decided to put a podcast on, and it was a mindset podcast, and it was talking all about how you really do change. You change everything about your physiology with just your mindset and beliefs. And so just building onto everything you said, that day I was like, I am not going to give myself this negative self-talk and poor me. Like, people have it so much worse than I have it right now. if I just have to stick it out for 6 months and I can't work for 6 months, what can I do in that 6 months to be able to make a big difference? And so that for me was a game changer. And every single day I woke up and I worked on my mindset. I wasn't working on different action plans. It was all mindset work, because I knew that was the thing that was going to help me then get to the action side. Because how many of you can relate to having a full plan of action steps and waking up and doing nothing? Like, give me a yes if you've been there. Like, you wake up, you've got the best intention in the world, but you don't do anything. You're procrastinating like no one's business. Has anyone experienced this? Because that's often coming down to your mindset. And I found I was doing the exact same thing. When I started working on mindset first, I would, pick up my to-do and I was crushing it. I was getting through things. I had the energy to do it. But if you don't work on those beliefs, that will keep you stuck.
Yeah, completely. And so what I'd love everyone to do who's watching live, I would love for you, I think it's like a really key moment for us, why we're in this mindset, why we're all psyched, is to kind of write down some affirmations that you want to be having flash up on your phone. I'd love for you to share them. Like, what is a mindset that you relate to? Okay, what is the affirmation that you relate to? Because when we're in these kind of moments where like, yeah, actually I relate to everything. I'm seeing loads of people saying, yeah, I relate to what Natalie's saying. Seeing people saying, yes, I picked myself up, I've changed my mindset, I'm still working on my mindset. All these comments are coming through. So I'd love you to decide which affirmations that you really relate to and write them down now. Write them on that alarm on your phone so that they flash up. So, and share them in the chat. I'd love for you to share some of them coming through, because it's so powerful to be able to, that is no cutting us off. Beliefs create a reality. Yes, Barbara. Pop them in the chat, ones that you want to be utilizing.
I am enough. Yeah.
I am enough. I like that.
That's a really amazing one. I'm worthy of my wildest dreams. I create my reality today. I am capable. I love this so much, and it really, really comes down to that. If you believe you're capable, if you believe you're worthy, you're going to go out and do it. But if you have this belief that success doesn't happen to someone like me, and I'm not worthy of this, or I'm not good enough for this, there's no way you're going to pick up your to-do list and go check things off. It just doesn't happen.
And can I also share, like, one thing I've really noticed is change for yourself, but also change for your loved ones too, in the sense that, like, when you start being positive and when you change your mindset and when you have that I can do anything attitude, you'll be surprised at the people around you that start having that as well. You'll create new, like, you'll attract it. You'll attract those people in, and also those people who are already friends with your family will actually start taking on that mindset themselves as well. And it's just so amazing to not only be able to influence, you have a positive influence on yourself, but also other people. So it's just another way to really see the benefits of it. So actually, Natalie shared this in her story where she was talking about the first Instagram course that she had completely changed her life, right? And she worked out that she knew knowledge, she knew something, and she wanted to share it with other people. And so Natalie and I really just want to share with you some of our mentors that we've been learning from over the years, and just sharing some of those methods that we have learned. So we want to invite you to a really, really amazing training. So we're going to put, the team are going to put the link in as well.
The link's already
it's already a link there. It's bossbabe.com/livecast-join. And we are going to be on there too. We're going to be on with our mentors, one of which is Dean Graciosi, and he is going to be sharing all the mindset tricks, all the ways that he has learned as well over his 30-odd years in turning business and what he knows into a business.
Yeah, well, actually, just going back to that before we even dive in. So when I talked about podcasts, that really changed things for me. It was a Tony Robbins podcast, and he was really going through so many different mindset shifts in that. And it was such a game changer for me. So yeah, like Danielle said, we are joining up with Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi, Jenna Kutcher, and Russell Brunson. They are 4 people that we were just in Puerto Rico with a couple of weeks ago, which is why we felt so inspired to be sharing this. They're doing completely free training. Oh my God, other people are doing it. It's completely free training. We want you on it. Obviously, we've got the next 7 days together as well. We're going to be training you every single morning, but we also want, what's the next step after the 7 days? Like, what's the next thing? The next thing is going to be this free training. And the next thing after that is, we've decided, because we know how much of a game changer this is, we're going to host a completely free after party after this live training, after the live training then as well, because knowledge without implementation is what inspiration, or it's just going to be shelved. implementation is the key to making things happen. And so what we're going to do after this live training that we're sharing is we're going to be doing after party. We're all going to come, we're going to be sharing our notes. Danielle and I are on that as well. People are saying it's going to be the biggest training in internet history, so we're going to be so on it, learning everything. Then we'll have the after party, and we're going to on that after party be giving away spaces to the society, spaces to IJ, so that after the free live training, you've actually got a next step as well. So these 7 days aren't going to end here. We really, really want to pour into you as much as we possibly can over the next month, because we just know what a game changer it's been for us. Danielle and I have actually never done this, so I know we've had some tech issues today. Please have grace with us. It's actually really funny because in my whole life, I've only ever done 2 webinars, like 2 types of webinars, and I've done a few email challenges. We've never shown up every single day and done a training for 7 days. It's completely new. And so we're really, really grateful that all of you've joined us. And I would love if you could share in the comments what your biggest takeaway from today is, and let us know, and we can share mine. I think the one thing I want you to get away from what I've shared is the reason that you're procrastinating is not because you're lazy. It's not because you don't know what to do. It's not because you're bad at what you're doing. It's none of those things. And I know sometimes you can get so hard on yourself, and you can get in there. I'm lazy. I'm not got enough energy. I'm not taking care of myself. I'm not doing this. If I can get anything across to you in this one training, there is nothing wrong with you, and there is nothing wrong with where you're at, because I have been there. And also, I'm not saying that I'm never there ever again. Like there are times when I still suffer with this. The reason that you're procrastinating is the mindset. There's something there, there's something deeper that is stopping you from going out and taking action. And I want you to spend time getting to the bottom of what that is. And even if you're journaling, even if you're questioning, just start questioning things, because every single one of you are capable of leaving this training, going, implementing a ton of things. But if that underlying piece isn't there, then it's gonna be difficult.
Yeah, I completely agree. And that's just, I think this is a really key point for you to share. Like, I think we all need to have a bit of grace with ourselves sometimes. And, you know, like Natalie shared, it's not, sometimes it really is like root cause is the mindset. So just like we've shared today, take one step forward. Don't look at the whole staircase that you need to climb. Just take one step forwards. And that forward step can be, right, I am going to commit to showing up to these 7 trainings over the next week. Okay, and then I'm also going to show up, and you've got the link there now, to this live cast training, which Natalie and I are going to be on, because it's going to be absolutely insane. And that's all you need to commit to right now.
Yeah.
So just one step in front of the other, but we are so excited. And also, one thing I will really, really just finish on is, you know how I talked about the paths being potential, leading to your action, leading to your results, leading to your beliefs? Well, that is a cycle, so it goes right back to potential again. So if you do this one thing, if you click, and the one thing to build confidence is actually follow through with what you say you're going to do. If you say yourself the one thing, right, I'm going to click on this live cast to join, I'm going to do it, I can guarantee once you click on that, you're going to feel like, oh, I'm
You're going to be like, do you know when you get that feeling of taking things off a tick box? For anyone asking, the link is in the bio of our Instagram accounts, and it's also in the description of this live training just at the top. So I'm going to paste it in the chat box right now, because I know a couple of you were asking for it. We're going to be on it. Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi, Jenna Kutcher, and Russell Brunson. They are all really, really incredibly successful entrepreneurs.
We had so nice.
Yeah, we had such an amazing time. We did an informal mastermind with them in Puerto Rico a couple of weeks ago, and just sitting around that table, so many of us were just asking, how can we collaborate? How can we get more of what we are talking about out into the world? Because it's great that there's a few of us sitting around a table and we're all helping each other with our businesses. But success is more fun when it's shared, and it's not just around privileged tables, because being honest, that's what it is. And we don't want it to just be stuck around a table. Like, how can we take what we know out to our communities and bring you all with us too? Because we are all in this together. Like, we need you, you need us. Like, we're all in this together. You know, entrepreneurship is this crazy roller coaster.
Ride.
And as the minute you hit the top, there's going to be something, and it's at those lower points that you have someone just cheering you on. It's at the higher points you have someone celebrating with you. So,
and that's why we're doing the after party after
as
well.
Kind
so
of,
we can kind of like, you know, digest it all, etc. And you've got a community. Like, if you're part of Boss Babe, you know, in any shape or form, you're on these lives. If you're in society, if you're IGA, if you're in anything, like, you're part of our family and our community, and that really means something to Natalie and I. So we're really excited to support you guys and look forward to seeing you there. So we'll be here again tomorrow, 10 a.m. Hopefully without tech issues. I will be closing down some of my windows. I've apparently had about 12.
Danielle had about 5,000 windows open. Then the camera unplugged. Then the light fell down. Then the speaker was going, the fan. So whilst Danielle's teaching, I'm in here clicking, moving things around. This is firstly what it looks like behind the scenes. Secondly, why having community and business besties is everything.
Yeah, I just love how everyone's giving us support. We're giving loads of love hearts. That's what this is about, right? No one's like, oh, how dare you do this? Like, oh, how funny, the real behind the scenes. So there we go. All right, take care, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Okay, so if you absolutely love this training, there's a few things we want you to do. Subscribe, leave a comment, and then go sign up for the live cast. As we mentioned, it's going to be an absolute game changer. All the links that you need are below, and we'll see you tomorrow.